This is Chris Kill with step 3 of your crunch rehabilitation program. Now, the other exercise that we often see associated with crunches are leg lifting exercises where, you know, we're on our backs and we're doing things like this, raising the legs up and down. As I'm doing this, I'm feeling my back arch at the same time, you know, and whether we're doing leg lifts or scissor kicks or really any combination of the two, once again, slow or quick and jerky movement really predominates the exercise and kind of ruins what, you know, could potentially be a great exercise. Really, the other issue with this is by raising my legs up like this or tucking my knees in or whatever it may be, we're getting a lot of hip flexor engagement, and you know, we've got the same problem going on. Again, it's working the abs, but at the same time it's tilting the pelvis down, it's arching the back, and it's accentuating that stomach. So what we want to do is try to modify this exercise so we can potentially make it better by taking the hip flexors as much out of the equation as possible. In order to do so, we follow a progression of kind of static extremity movement to movement of the extremities. I'm going to show you how to do that without engaging the hip flexors. So our first exercise is what is called just a 1-inch lift. All right, and with this, you're just raising one leg off the ground. All right, I'm trying to press my back into the floor here before I do that. Actually, slight press into the floor. You can put your hands under the small of your lower back to monitor whether this is able to stay like that. I'm just raising one leg off the ground. All right, immediately I'm feeling my abs contract and tighten. All right, again, I'm thinking 10-second holds. This is pretty easy, and this can be used as a warm-up, but what I'm doing here is I'm just marching forward and back, I'm engaging my abs, and I'm just kind of learning to do that, maintain that contraction. Once that is the case, I can start to incorporate extremity movement. So here, I might perform 5 reps on one side, followed by 5 reps on the other side. Again, this is a pretty easy movement. This is something that can be used just kind of as a warm-up to maintain that abdominal brace. All right, once we're able to do those two things, once you can maintain a brace throughout 5 to 10 reps on each side, we're going to just raise both feet off the ground. All right, this is a little bit more difficult, and what I'm doing here in a similar way to the McGill crunch is I'm just thinking 10-second holds. Look for a 10 count, come back down. Hold for a 10 count, keep the abs tight. Make sure they're staying pressed into the floor here. Keep the feet only about 1 or 2 inches off the floor here. And press back down. Alright, and with this we're going to progress from anywhere from 3 10-second holds all the way up to 6 or 7. Once that is the case, we can start to once again incorporate extremity movements. So I'm here, keeping my feet off the ground, and I'm just extending the legs. I may be holding for 10 to 20 seconds while performing this motion and then coming back down. Alright, with this we can do different things. Marching, extension, double leg extension, just kicking straight out. The point is we're maintaining this abdominal contraction throughout, and as opposed to the McGill crunch where we eventually are going to incorporate reps into the equation, I want you to incorporate different patterns in patterns of 10-second holds. So, for example, give it a 10 count, maybe alternating, then come down, rest for a minute, come back up, incorporate some extensions. And really, with this, the sky is the limit. I mean, you can come up with any combination of different movements of the legs in 10-second holds. The goal is to keep your feet very close to the floor so we're not excessively engaging the hip flexors and keeping that abdominal brace going on. Once you feel that start to break down, shut the exercise down, that's it. But, you know, the progression would go, you know, warm up with the 1-inch hold with the one leg. All right, then first progression would be both legs off the ground here, and then eventually incorporating movement of the extremities. Really, any combination is fair game, and that is your leg lifting progression.